Hey, Brian Bauer here, and today I'm going to be revisiting an old video of mine about the Shure SM7B, the Cloud Microphone CL1 mic activator, otherwise known as the Cloudlifter, and the Focusrite Scarlett 2i4 interface right now. Over a year ago, I released about a 5-minute video where I was just basically testing out, just talking a little bit about the new microphone that I had got at the time, this boom arm here, and the Focusrite 2i4 interface with the Cloudlifter. And while this video it has helped a lot of people, it's also led me to getting a lot of questions and a lot of comments because, well, the video, it's got almost 10K views right now. When I looked earlier, it was pushing that point, and by the time you might see this, it might actually be in the 10K range. It's probably one of the most popular videos on the channel. I know it's a little bit of a different topic because most of the time I'm talking about guitars or heavy metal or rock and roll or something like that, or some sort of gear review. One of the biggest parts of my channel right now is the fact that I do a lot of talking. So I do use this kind of setup. So I want to talk about a few things today, which is why I've got this, how I use it, and some of the things that I've learned. Plus, I would like to address some of the comments in the video. Why did I buy the Shure SM7B? Well, the reason I had bought it because I wanted better sound for my videos where I'm talking. And number two, I'm also working with vocalists and stuff now for some of my music, and I wanted something that I could record that with. Number two, I was using a condenser mic that was USB that, I mean, it did the job, but I wanted something that I could control the gain with my interface with the knob and not be going into menus, and I just find the setup to be much more flexible. So first things first, I'll plug my Shure SM7B into my Focusrite Scarlett 2i4, and what happens? I don't get much volume. I gotta crank the gain up and it's still too quiet. So that's because the Focusrite has preamps that are a little too quiet for this. So I bought the CL1 Cloudlifter, plugged that in, so it basically solved the problem. The Cloudlifter gives 20 decibels or 20 to 25 decibels of clean boost to your signal without any added noise, which is really awesome. And I really like the Cloudlifter too. It does exactly what it said it was gonna do, and I'm super stoked to watch some videos on it, and I think it's pretty cool. However, I didn't explain too much in the previous video, as I was still fairly new to working with this. But anyway, over the last year of working with this thing, I think I've learned a couple things. As I just said, the Focusrite 2i4 first generation interfaces like the one I'm using right now has some really quiet preamps. While these preamps work really awesome for recording guitars and stuff, and it even has gain pads to bring that signal down, it wasn't powerful enough on the other end to run a dynamic mic. Shure SM7B is a dynamic mic, and it's much, much quieter than a condenser mic. So you don't pick up maybe all the room noise that you would with a condenser mic, but it's a lot quieter. So you wouldn't have this problem or need a Cloudlifter if you were using a condenser mic, but for a dynamic mic like this, yes, you would. As for the Cloudlifter with other mics and stuff like ribbon mics and whatnot, I have no idea. So before you plug that thing in, just watch it. So the preamps were a little bit quiet, but as you can hear, it's working for me right now. Let's talk a little bit about how I use this setup and what I'm doing right now. So we have our SM7B plugged in with an XLR cable over to the Cloudlifter, and from the Cloudlifter into the input of the interface, and I'm capturing the audio with my DAW, which is Reaper. This would work with any other DAW, so this is up to you what you want to use. It doesn't really matter. Once you get all that stuff plugged in, you're gonna have to turn on the 48 volts of phantom power to power up the Cloudlifter itself. Then I get enough gain here. Now it's still pretty quiet where I have to crank this to 2 o'clock, but it happens to work. Once I'm done recording the video, and it's exactly what I'm gonna be doing here and what you're hearing, I actually take the track that I've recorded, I make a second track within Reaper, and I copy and paste it, which doubles up the sound, okay? So after the track is copied and pasted, everything runs to the master bus. So on the master bus, I add a little bit of compression and a little bit of EQ. I'll put my EQ up on the screen, Now, I am no master of doing any kind of voice-over EQs. There are other videos out there for that. There's a dude that I'm gonna link down in the description who I think does an incredible job at explaining this stuff. I do cut out a little bit of the bottom end. I try to boost a little bit of that too and some of the mid-range, just so we get a somewhat richer audio from it. I do like a little bit of that bassy compressed sound in a voiceover, so I think this in that sense works really well. Now, I don't have any acoustic panels on the wall. We're gonna discuss that in a minute, but what I do is I use a little bit of a de-reverb effect. Now, I actually, for videos, use that in Premiere Pro. They have a de-reverb, but you can buy, like, I think it's like Acusonus or one of those companies makes a de-reverber that I've used before too, which you can use in your DAW. But I use the one in Premiere Pro. Now, I'm gonna give you a quick tip that this isn't a replacement for not doing any acoustic treatment in your room, okay? But if you are gonna use a little bit of de-reverb effect, go light on the gain. Don't max it out, because what happens when you start maxing that kind of thing out is that it takes away the dynamics in your audio. So use it sparingly to the point where it doesn't break up the audio. So I go with anywhere from 20 to 40%. You might be able to do it more, but if you crank it too much, you're gonna lose it and it's not gonna sound very good. So that's what I do. Maybe not the best practice in the world. I have a fairly large room that I'm recording videos in right now, so that's what the deal is there. I really just need to put up some foam panels or something and cut down some of the echoing that's happening. I've been doing it in post-processing a little bit, so, you know, I've been a bad boy. As for the comments there, yeah, a guy said it sounded awful. And you know what? I 100% agree. I'm gonna talk about things in a little bit more depth. SM7B, I have absolutely no complaints with using that. I've liked the audio that I've gotten from the SM7B. Yes, it's a quieter mic, so one of the things I do want to say right now, that if you are using this, there is no magic gain level here. If I'm gonna be talking really loud, I'm gonna start clipping that if I have the gain up too much. So if you're working with a quieter vocalist or a quieter speaker, you might need to crank your gain a bit more. But if you are working with somebody who's loud, you're probably gonna have to roll that gain back. But overall, I think I get a really awesome sound from this microphone. I was trying to read about any problems and things, and some people say they hate the microphone, but I see more people using it than not, and for the price, it's about 500 Canadian, probably a little bit more. If you look around, you can get some deals. I got this one new at a somewhat of a discount, so not too bad. I'm not endorsed by the company, by the way. Another thing, I do keep it on the road. I think it's the PSA-1 boom arm. This is one of those things where I've mentioned in the other video, you can buy cheap Amazon boom arms and stuff for microphones, and it might work for you, but if it breaks, you know, it's, in a sense, it's buy right or buy twice. This isn't gonna go out of style. It's not gonna become obsolete. I've seen a couple bad reviews, but I've seen almost all good reviews for this arm. And for me, I'm gonna give it a 100%. I really like it. It works for me, and it's gonna stabilize your audio. Cloudlifter, again, did exactly what I wanted it to do. It gave me the boost that I can use with this interface. Realize that, okay, so there was a comment I saw somewhere, so I don't know if it was Reddit or if it was in the video itself, but they were saying, you don't need to buy the Cloudlifter, just put the money towards an interface. I didn't want to buy a new interface, so I bought the Cloudlifter. I already had the interface for like at least a couple years at that point. I've been using this one for 4 years, probably do an upgrade soon. And remember, an interface like the Focusrite stuff, the higher end stuff, is probably going to have better preamps and stuff in it. You might not need it. Cloudlifter did exactly what it was supposed to do, and I can use it with the 2i4. As for the Focusrite 2i4, mostly I really like the interface. For guitar recording, it does really good, but make sure your signals aren't too hot in there. It does have gain pads, which is pretty cool. For using this microphone for these kind of voiceover kind of things and talking in my videos, I don't have the pad on. The pad is turned off right behind me. Yeah, the other ones, we're not even using it right now. So you're gonna need that. So I think within the first generation, Focusrite might have had some problems with things. I feel like there's a couple like weird solder joints in there, and one of the outputs I find for doing reamping it was a bit strange, but not the best interface for doing that per se. But this interface does do the job, okay? And one of the next things, cables. Don't cheap out in your cables, okay? I got mine made by Swan Audio. Now, one of the comments in the video is actually saying, where a guy was saying he has a lot of hiss and a lot of things going on like that. Well, and he was saying, change your cables out. So I've been seeing a few questions in there that I would like to address. Some of you guys are saying that this video is pretty helpful, and that's awesome. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know the answers to all your questions. To the people that have been actually in there commenting and trying to help people out, you guys are awesome. So thank you so much for actually participating, and I'm glad that this video is helping and that other people are coming across this and trying to help each other. That's super cool. I see, can you use it on a PS4? Does a PS4 have 48 volts of phantom power and an XLR input? No, it doesn't. So if you're able to somehow hook that up some other way, cool. But it's not gonna work. I saw a question in there where they were saying they plugged all this stuff in and it doesn't work. They turned the 48 volts of phantom power on and nothing happened. I don't know, maybe your phantom power is busted or something. Maybe your cables don't work. You gotta start looking for the simple solutions. When something's not making sound, this is where we need to figure it out. I'm not gonna call anybody stupid, but is your track arm that you're recording with in your DAW? Number two, do your cables work? Like the cables, that's a big thing there. How's your gain set? What is there anything there? Look for the simple solutions first, because I highly doubt it's your mic and I highly doubt it's your Cloudlifter. Maybe your interface is broken. I have no idea. One guy was saying, would the Cloudlifter reduce hum with his condenser mic? I wouldn't say that it's gonna reduce any hum with your condenser mic. If you've got some hum going on, chances are you either have some sort of interference in your room where you might need to have cleaner power, but you might, again, check your cables, because I don't really know. I see somebody else asking, can you plug it directly into the microphone? You're going to need cables to plug that in to your Cloudlifter. Like there's no direct connection. The direct connection is the XLR cable from here over to the Cloudlifter. That's how it works, okay? I think I'm gonna end with just saying this. If you're working with this kind of stuff and you're watching my videos on how to work with it, I don't know all the answers. I know that there's way more in-depth videos with this kind of stuff and people who know a whole lot more. So if I'm saying something and you think maybe I'm wrong or you think I could do something better, let me know. I mean, I already said I didn't put acoustic panels on the wall. I will change that, okay? As for the setup, like I wanna say, it works really well for me. Most likely, it's gonna work really well for you. I don't know the condition of your gear. I don't know the condition of your cables, so don't cheap out your cables. Don't cheap out the mics. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I'll be back with the regular content, probably by the next one. So if you can come up here, click the subscribe button, and click any of the links below, and any of the videos on the side, that would be awesome. You guys have an awesome day, and good luck getting your mic setups to work for your videos, your voiceovers, your podcasts, and whatnot. Have an awesome day, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Peace.